Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Where's the #1 place to find someone playing every single video game? Right here. Welcome everyone to September 1982. We're playing everything that we couldn't find the definite release date for, last showcasing Starcross. So good. Let's see what is next. We're first gonna... Oh! That sound means it's time for another Star Trek variant on our Sinclair ZX Spectrum. So we're going to the United Kingdom to play Star Trek Adventure, but it's not an adventure. And this one we only have a few screenshots for, so yeah, no other versions. Let's pop in and play Star Trek Adventure by T. Sato, published by Program Direct at sometime in September 1982. Alright, this is our 21st Star Trek variant. And this should play and look very similar if you've seen the other episodes where we played Star Trek. This has nothing to do with official Star Trek. This has to do with that mainframe game they made a long time ago and everyone just decided, let's make it over and over and over again. So let's go in and play some Star Trek. Oh, there we go, yes. It goes right into it. Yeah, we're familiar with the grid, long-range scans. Now, here's the thing. What's the commands? Can we do help? Oh, only one command works. So H didn't work for help. What about L? No? Oh, so this is terrible. If you don't have the manual, then you have no idea what the command is to send the Starship Enterprise around the world. Okay, so I don't think we can report to the bridge. Let's just try S for shields. Maybe? Okay, fine. W for warp. Oh my gosh, none of the things are working? The usual commands for all the Star Trek variants usually work for us, but this one is not. Oh, there we go. M is requesting Zargon Merchant Craft, request boarding permission. I'll say yes. Yeah, come on board. They prove to be treacherous and have sabotaged the phaser. Okay, what happens if I hit P? Spock says, I'm rather busy at the moment. Press any key to continue. Spock's busy? He can't help us? Spock's never busy. Are we really playing as Captain Kirk in this Star Trek variant? That's just terrible. Yes, Spock is rather busy at the moment. Oh, too bad. Yeah, without a manual or without a cassette case that's telling you what the commands are, I'm going to say, I'm surprised. I now know why this one was lost to time. So Star Trek Adventure is not an adventure at all. Of all the games we played for a home computer, it's pretty low. Obviously, we would need the command prompt to know what the commands for a usual Star Trek game, but I have to go subpar for everything so far. I know, right? So usually whenever these kind of games come up, there's a command prompt that's required every turn, and then you just decide on different commands, and the other ones we played like on MS-DOS and other home computers, they tell you what the commands are, but we don't have anything on this one. So I'm going to say bad. Unless someone out there is a big Star Trek Adventure fan, we'll say 2 stars for all the games right now on a home computer. It looks all right for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, though. I know, right? Usually they have something. I'm trying all the usual commands, and it just doesn't work on this one. All right, let's see what our next title is. We got lots of releases to go through. Here's another one for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Storm Fighters. Another very rare, obscure one. In fact, most of the games on this show tonight, you will not be able to find if you try to do the Google search on YouTube. No one's talked about these games. That's how deep we're going. So Storm Fighters, all we have, or all I could find, was the front of this cassette case, suitable for 16K or 48K Spectrum. Someone just typed it up and made the box themselves. Why not? So we got a few different versions. We're going to play the first one. This is Storm Fighters by John Prince, published by John Prince Software or Dixie Software at sometime in September 1982. There we go. Very nice. Pseudo wireframe graphics. All right, let's push any key to go. Already got some sound effects on the ZX Spectrum. And we are in. It is a fixed shooter. Move left, right, and fire. But take a look at that firepower. It doesn't seem like my shot is stopping. Look, I can go non-stop. Love it. We got a couple lives at the top of the screen, and it is displaying. I have some sound. It's barely audible. It's like it's almost like it's muted sound. But this is one that didn't come from the ZX81 first. It was only here. Now, would you describe this as a scrolling shoot-'em-up or just a fixed shooter? Since this black background, I'm going to say it's fixed. This is similar to Space Invaders, even though we have what looks like TIE fighters flying down from the top of us. So this one's all right. Smooth for the ZX Spectrum. Now, we played other shooters that were horizontal scrolling shooters. on the ZX Spectrum, and of course everything that's available for the home computer, you could easily shy away from this. But for people that had the ZX Spectrum, this is a brand new computer from 1982. You'd still have a good time with this. For some reason, it feels like this could be a type-in game, but it had a cassette case. It's real. It does look like Darth Vader's TIE Fighter coming at us. So not going crazy with the sound effects. And what you see there, I played probably 5 minutes, and I didn't get to see any other screens, but what you see is what you get for Storm Fighters. Of all the shooters or all the games you could be playing on a home computer right now in September 1982, I'd say subpar. It's not really a bad game. It does the job for a shooter. I like the firepower. I like the frame rate, but for everything so far, it's not really up to snuff for around the average for everything on all the other home computers. But it's because the ZX Spectrum is so new. So I'm just going to say a notch below, 2.5 stars. I see, yeah, a lot of, some 2s, 2.5s out there. Jimmy saying 3, yeah, between 2 and 2.5. So it's not like the best shooter or best game you could be playing right now on the home computer, but it's all right. You got to take it with a grain of salt and remember everything so far. Forget everything from the future. Just think of everything right now and everything we've seen already. And we are a little spoiled here on the show. We see every single game. So not everyone's going to have a chance to be versed with everything, you know, have every computer and play everything that's out there. I know, if it was Spectrum only, I'm with you too, Curtis. I would rate it higher too. All right, let's see what our next release is. We're staying in the United Kingdom to play on the Sinclair ZX81. This is Subspace Striker. I am not familiar with this one. Let's take a look. This one was also available for the Timex Sinclair 1000, and there it is. There's the ad on the left, and that's the system. The Sinclair 1000, or what we would have called it in North America. So here is the box for Subspace Striker. First release was in the United Kingdom on the ZX81. You'll need 16K. Vaporize the Federation Battle Fleet, plus Zor Battle of the Robots. Hey, we already saw Zor, so this one was the other title that was on this compilation, small compilation. What else do we have for Subspace Striker? Oh, there we go, the Timex Sinclair 1000 box. Only needs 16K. It comes from out of nowhere and then vanishes back into the ether. With your deadly antimat torpedoes, you unleash havoc in the Federation space lines. I love it. So if you open up the inside sleeve, the whole cassette case says, to load this, we need to use SSS. A telltale blip on the real space sensor scan screen moves the crew of the Subspace Striker Swordfish to full battle alert. So the game's called Subspace Striker, but we're piloting the Swordfish. A stream of data fills the screen, giving full target analysis, class, drive, range, speed, armament. As the Swordfish ripples through real space existence, the moving target's already lined up on the target scan, using 7 to go up, 6 to go down on the control panel. The ready fingers hover over the buttons marked 1 and 2. Time seems to stand still as the first deadly antimat torpedo streaks toward its target coordinates. Suddenly a warning flashes across the screen. A Federation sweeper is closing for counterattack. So they're doing, again, the lore, kind of the lore for a shooter game, but I like them for space games. That's fun. And there it is, Zor. So we've already seen Zor. This one would be the other one that you could play, or maybe they were released separately. I don't know for sure. All right, besides that, let's pop into play Subspace Striker. This is Pixel Productions, published by Quicksilva International Publishing and Software, depending on if it's North America or Europe, at sometime in September 1982. All right, so let's go ahead and hit Run, and Pixel Productions loading test. Bring it on. Loading test complete. When the screen goes clear, load the main program with SSS. So that means we just type SSS and it should load. Let's try it. All right, so what you can see here, this is the keyboard or an emulated keyboard of the ZX81. To load, we have to do the J key. So I'm going to do J, and then I'm going to do SSS. And, oh wait, that one did not work. Okay, so let's try it a different way. Let's do it with load. Oh, so now I'm confused of how you would load it after the main loading test. This is the very first game on the ZX81 that you have to do 2 different commands for it. All right, so let's try it again. Ready? And SSS, and go. Fingers crossed. There we go. Thanks, Manly. Get the quotes in, get the SSS, and this is the inconsistency of very rarely do I see this for the ZX81. On the live show, sometimes it loads, sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to have to say that's a bust this time for Subspace Striker. But don't worry, we're not going to skip Subspace Striker because The version that I could see most people have seen or heard of was this one, Subspace Striker for the Commodore VIC-20. So we're still in the United Kingdom by Pixel Productions. Let's check out Subspace Striker. So same box we had before, looks really similar. Yeah, VIC-20 or the ZX81, same 16K needed. Anything else we have for Subspace Striker? Oh, all we have is the screenshot. So we got the information from the ZX81. Let's pop in and play on our Commodore VIC-20, my Pixel Productions, at sometime in September 1982. Subspace Striker. There we go. Nice. Too cool. We have our ship that came out of cloaking. Cool opening. Look at that. Even have some nice sound effects on the VIC-20. So we want I for instructions. How do we play this? It's AD 2946. Whoa, way in the future. The galaxy is at war. It feels like we're starting a movie instead of a video game. You are in command of the Subspace Striker Swordfish. Your mission to disrupt Federation space lanes, to cut off their vital arms supplies. Now, I'm not controlling any of this. I haven't used any joystick or anything. I just pushed I for instructions. The Swordfish can stalk enemy ships from subspace, but must surface to fire its 10 deadly anti-mat torpedoes. A real space sensor probe can detect objects on the other side of the subspace threshold, but cannot be scanned by enemy warships. Very, very interesting. Once you surface in real space, you are vulnerable to enemy fire, so shoot and dive back into subspace safety, fast. Kind of sounds like we're playing a submarine game. Line up the target with the sights, plus and minus keys, fire torpedoes with 1 and 2. So we're going to be using keyboard controls only, no joystick. Good hunting. Yeah, the font's pretty nice. And I like how it's beginning like introduction of a movie. Here we go, so a real space scan. We made contact. I haven't touched anything on the keyboard yet. There's our enemy. There it is. Sensor scan says it's a Vega-class freighter. There's the drive, cargo, range, and speed, and we can press S to surface. So let's do it. Let's surface. And that's us coming out of subspace, so there's the Swordfish. Nice, we have the target scan. Okay, now I'm using the keyboard for controls. I can push 1 to fire or D to dive. Uh-oh, warning. I think I missed the shot. Yep, cruiser launching subspace mines. Look at this, it's doing cutscenes. It's going from, it's showing the enemy doing their shots. Now we can dive to level 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's dive to level 3. Lateral vector, let's do it, make it 8. So we just put our ship, there it is, at level 3 down, and then we moved it to the 8th position. And this is like we're playing a space version of a naval simulator. A loosely version of a naval simulator, because they're turning subspace into like a submarine diving down, and then when you surface, then you use your periscope to look for the ships. But they're doing it in a sci-fi theme. We have not seen this. This is literally a submarine game or a naval simulator. Oh, here's another one. So this is meant to be like they're dropping depth charges, but I have no control over the ship. I just had to guess where I want to put the ship. And then we're going to have our next contact, find out who we meet. Wow, look at this. And they spend the time on each ship. They tell us what the scanner says. Very interesting. So the sensor scan says this is a Sirius class carrier. There's the drive, armament, range, and speed, and we can push S. Let's surface. Let's go. I only got 2 shots. So you move plus and minus on your keyboard, and then you fire off at number 1 or number 2. Here we go. Number 2. Oh, just missed. Okay, we have only 1 more shot. Now I can dive. Let's get out of here. We're going to go back to subspace because I don't want them to drop anything. Sweeper closing in on attack. Look at this. Press D to dive. That was like a quick time event. I had to push D as fast as possible. Well, a really tiny TIE fighter comes after me. What a crazy idea for a game. This one reminds me of the other ones we played by Jim Software. Zor, which was the other one, which makes sense because it was on the same cassette. So interesting idea. Gameplay wise, it's so loose. Like most of this I'm just reading. I'm not deciding where I'm going to go. Okay, let's press S to surface. There's very little input by the player. It's just the presentation's so cool. I mean, look, we see our ship come out of subspace. Now we can do our shots. Missed him again. Okay, dive, dive, dive. I'm not going to wait any longer, because if you wait, then they'll have a chance to drop the space depth charges, whatever they are. Or back on the real space scan. So it gives you kind of the feels like we're playing something like Star Raiders, you know, with a grid, but I'm not choosing anything. It just goes where it wants, and ships come upon us, and then we make the decisions after that. I know, yeah, it's very bizarre. I love the presentation, though. If more games were doing all these cuts like this, from one to the other, but you had the gameplay involved, it'd be great. But this one is very lackluster. Oh, yeah, no, it's not the first game we've had cutscenes during play. This one would be maybe the third or fourth game with cutscenes while we're in the middle of playing. But this is very minimal play. It's more of watching what's happening, and then, oh, here we go. Now we got to pick our dive. Let's dive to level 4. This time let's do 2. So you can see I just picked level 4, which is the blue level, and then I picked the 2, which is how far the ship is left and right, and I'm just waiting. I just wait for the depth charges to come down. So there you go. That's Subspace Striker. Whether you're playing this on the ZX81 or on the VIC-20, it's very weird because it's one of those titles that's trying something different, but it doesn't really deliver because there's not too much gameplay. It is a wow factor because you'd be able to see the ship large on the screen. It'd blow you away. But I guess say for gameplay, it's bad. Of all the games you could be playing on a home computer, there's not too much you can do with it. I wish it had more shooting, more action, more key inputs than what I did. So not really too much that it needs from the players. So I'm going to say, of all the titles we've seen so far, it's a 2-star game of all computer games. I know it's a tricky one. I'm seeing some 2.5s out there. Oh, Manly's even saying 3.5. Yeah, very difficult to rate because there's not too much you do. It's a lot of randomness. Yeah, the gameplay, or I'm going to say because of lack thereof, it's a 2-star game. It's just cool seeing a game like this that's wanting to cut away back and forth. So whether you play on either one, I'm going to say 2 stars of everything so far. Yeah, no, there's very little game. Good point, Barda, man. All right, let's see what our next release is. We're still going to be playing on our Commodore VIC-20, but we're going to be playing it in Germany now. This is the VC-20, and we're going to play some Super Frog. So strap in. This one only has a screenshot. Let's pop in and play Super Frog. This is by HG Software at sometime in September 1982. If it has frog in the title, everyone guess what game this is. So here we can put F1 to start, and then restore, reset. So I'm going to do in English, hitting F1. Ooh, cool. Wait a second. For the VIC-20, that is a really cool sound. All right, so we're in. Oh, I'm supposed to go U to go up. Got it. Oh my goodness. The frog moves so slow. Look at this. Wow. Now, sound effects-wise in the VIC-20, that's pretty good. But as far as the way the frog moves, this is keyboard control only. I'm going to try that joystick. Yeah, that sound. The sound effect's pretty cool, though. I like that. Oh, man, it's so slow. It just creeps. It's one of the slowest Froggers I think we've ever played. All right, let's see if we can get over it. Well, I kind of understand a little bit how the movement works because the controls are not just moving left. You don't move the Frogger left. You move it left and up at the same time. Super Frog from Germany. Want to play my Super Frog? This one marks our 24th Frogger variant of all Frogger games since the beginning. And I'm already thinking this one ain't gonna cut it. Go, go, go. Oh, you gotta be fast. He falls in the water. Oh man, that's bad. I'm already seeing the ratings from the chat. Super Frog from Germany. I'm gonna actually just stop right there. That's all we need to see. I don't need to cross the road as Super Frog because I've already been to the other side, and all you do is you stop, and then he stays there. So this marks one of the worst Frogger games you can play, but it's not the worst. I'm gonna actually say this is a 1-star game of all the games you can play right now on a home computer. So right now the standings are the worst Frogger game so far was Green Cross Frog on the Jupiter Ace. Right after that, just a little bit better, was Hoppy on the Commodore VIC-20. Right after that would be this game. This game's just a little bit better than Hoppy, and just a smidge better. Right after that, this game, though, was Cricket for the Commodore VIC-20. And then right after that is Frog Trek for the TRS-80 color computer. So that is the worst Frogger games in order of worst so far. Super Frog's down there, way down there. It says it starts. I love it. Yes, I can see ratings saying, I love the rating is no. That's beautiful. there's so many Frogger games so far. This is the 24th one. Play something else. All right, let's see what's next. Still in the United Kingdom, let's go to the Sinclair ZX81 and play Super Space Mission. Also known as just Space Mission, because the front of the cassette case only says Space Mission, but when you boot it up, it says Super Space Mission. Here it is, the cassette case. And this one looks like, oh, there we go, Jim Software. So here you go. This is Jim Software, and this one is going to be a strange one because this one's also available for the Dragon 32 that we might be seeing later. But the front of this box looks like the other one we saw by Jim Software after another game called Monster Mine. Looks the same. Do we have anything else for Super Space Mission? Nope, just an example of the screenshot. All right, here we go. Let's pop it and play Super Space Mission by W.E. McGowan, published by Jim Software at sometime in September 1982. Then I must have mixed up the other. There's another one that we played before. I don't think that was Jim Software. That was a different publishing company. All right, press any key to wake me up. I love when a game starts like this. So cool, using the ASCII graphics. And you wake up the robot. And if you're expecting sound, no, not here. Wow, what a cool opening. And we have a star field. I love it. So this is Jim Software's second game that we played. The only other one we played was Monster Mine. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's drawing. That's so cool. It was forming Super Space Mission. I love it. We go into it, very nice. Way to go, W.E. And we begin. All right, so press L to launch. Let's try it out. Push an L. Countdown commencing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff. No way. A little bit of scrolling on the ZX81. That's really nice. I'm not controlling anything. That's just playing. It says, I now have control. Active lasers. I got 1 through 8. Test lasers and thrust. Okay, 1 to rotate left. 2 to rotate right. They're giving me a little tutorial right here. Press 9 to move. So this is all on the keyboard. 0 to fire. R to proceed with the mission. Okay, let's test it out. There you go. So moving left, moving right. And then move forward was 9. Nice. And then fire lasers. Yeah, there you go. 0. So this is all done with the numbers, which is normal for the ZX81. There's only 1 or 2 games we've seen that use a cursor joystick. Look at that. So it's letting me move. Oh, I get stuck on the pixel. It doesn't let me fly through it. It's giving me all the directions, like 8-way directions of an asteroid game, but I can't move. I can't thrust and move at the same time. I have to pace myself. Look, I have to do one movement at a time. Same thing with fire. I can't fire and move. It's only one key press at one time. Okay, press R to proceed with the mission. What in the world's the mission? Let's find out. Warning, asteroids approaching. All right, I'm ready. I got my lasers set. Oh my gosh, there's so many asteroids. All the asterisks all over the place. All right, let's see if we can get some hits in. All right, okay, I got some of them. Time it. Oh, and they're smashing into me. Uh-oh. So when they smash into me, it looks like I had some damage, but looks like all lasers are active. We now have enemies in sight. You got to admit, though, that the graphics and the way this looks is just so quaint. It still is fun to play, and it must have been so fun to play in 1982. Warning, approaching asteroids again. Okay, so we're doing all right with... And we have different modes. We started with a quick cutscene where it scrolled at the top, and now, oh, we have asteroids pelting. That's not smart. Look down at the bottom right. You can see that my active lasers are going away. So I have one laser that doesn't work. Damaged critical. Press A to abort mission or C to continue. Let's do A. And then it says automatic landing selected, and it calls me a chicken. and you go back down to Earth or whatever planet we're going to. Very cool. So you don't get to control the cutscene, or you don't get to control this scene of the landing. So I'm not doing anything like Lunar Rescue or Lunar Lander. It's doing it by itself. We got touchdown, nice. Yeah, they promised that in the other game by Jim Software, and we didn't get any of that either. All right, so press I for instructions. Let's see. We don't want instructions. We can just go. Skill level 3. Oh, there we go. So we pick the skill level. We have easy. I'm really loving this. Suicidal sounds fun. Let's do suicidal. Skill level 7 selected. Sweet. All right, press L to launch. So again, it's going to do the countdown commencing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Yeah, this could have been a little fun. The controls are a little stiff, though, because you can't do multiple movements at once. You have to move left and then thrust forward and then move right. You can see I can't do one at a time. But I do like how it changes up the gameplay, which is kind of nice. There we go. So there's Super Space Mission for the ZX81. I got to say, of all the games you can be playing on a home computer, I got to say fairly average for this one. Being able to have different game selections. You have asteroids, then you have spaceships. Makes it very fun. The only thing I would say that brings it down is it doesn't have a joystick. You have to do everything on the keyboard, and the ZX81 keyboard is pretty spongy. Bartleman's saying there. Yeah, Curtis is saying 2.5. I could go lower too, because subpar, because you can't do multiple movements. It looks like when you saw me playing it like I'm playing asteroids, but you're really not. So we'll say 2.5 stars of everything so far on a home computer. Manly is the biggest fan of the ZX81. Just crank it up there. But that's not all. Our next release is Super Space Mission for the ZX Spectrum. Let's check it out. Here we go. The cassette case is an upgrade. Looks really, really nice. Still sci-fi themed. I dig it. Do we have anything else for Super Space Mission? The whole sleeve, and then, yeah, the inside. So now we're going to add some sound and color to what we just played. Here you go. It's time to pop it and play. Super Space Mission, again by Jim Software, at sometime in September 1982. Here you go. Color display. Yes, we do. Hit C. And then we pick the skill level. Love it. Let's do dodgy this time and see what happens. All right, L to launch. Countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Oh, where's the sound? Wait, it's the ZX Spectrum. You didn't put sound in? We've already seen a few games do that. Transition from the ZX81 to the Spectrum. All right, we have control. Let's see if it's the same. Interesting. It's even worse control. I have to push the key press every time. I can't hold it down. Oh, wait, I can. Okay, so it had a delay. There we go. So it does work, but like the thrust, look at that. It's not responding as quickly as it was. Oh, and we do have sound. Very nice. Okay, let's proceed with the mission. We're ready. Moving around. Asteroid belt ahead. Oh, they actually look like asteroids now. Destroy. Oh man, yeah, but I'm basically having to tap the key. That chiclet keyboard of the ZX Spectrum, you're having to tap it every single time you want to move forward to thrust. All right, here comes the enemy ships. Go, go, go. Yeah, I would have to give this the same rating as the ZX81, maybe possibly even lower, because having to push the button over and over again, it makes it really difficult. It doesn't respond as well as the ZX81. Isn't that weird? Imagine buying the new cool system that's supposed to be better than the ZX81 and the ZX Spectrum one. It just doesn't cut it. Yeah, I'm trying to do my lasers. Oh, I see. Lasers. I've lost one of them, and what it means is one of the diagonals, the top right diagonal, doesn't work anymore because I've been hit with so many asteroids. If you look down on the bottom, see I'm losing more now. I can't fire in, which direction is that? To the left or bottom? Yeah, you can see if I keep getting pelted with asteroids, my active lasers start going down. I lose lasers on different directions. Wow. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I could say this one would be subpar because the control is even less than the other one. That's a good point, Curtis. Maybe that's possible because this is still the newer system, the newer home computer. Yeah, so I'm on the fence. I might even say, because it's so minimal, I'll still say subpar. But no, I'm gonna say for this one, I'm gonna say 2 stars. Having to hit every key, I was holding it down, but it had a delay, and the repeat key didn't respond as well. So I'm gonna say 2 stars. We'll say Super Space Mission on the ZX81, 2.5, but then the ZX Spectrum, 2 stars. Yeah, and that's true. It doesn't have the charm of the Timex Sinclair 1000. So cool. Yeah, Curtis is saying 2 as well. Around the bad range. That's too bad, too. I like how it was switching up the screens, going from one to the other. It keeps you interested. I love it. All right, that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause and play another day. Tune in next episode for the very first tennis game on any home computer. That's it for today, and like I always say, all you need is a small mass of pixels to be immersed in the game. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.